A big shakeup tonight for the Atlanta-based Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky stunned health experts today, saying she is resigning. Her job was a mix of health, public policy, and sometimes politics, too. Atlanta News First political reporter Doug Reardon, he's live at CDC headquarters in Atlanta. Doug, what is the impact for our community?
All right, well, it could be massive, especially coming out of this pandemic, as the World Health Organization announced today the world is. But Walensky is now just the third woman to lead this department. Prior to this, she was an infectious disease head at Massachusetts General Hospital and a health commentator on CNN. We should note, we still don't know who will lead the department after she leaves.
The pain is accelerating. Our defenses have worn down. We are losing life and hope at an alarming rate. I never anticipated I would take on a role helping lead our national response, and government service was never part of my plan.
That was Dr. Rochelle Walensky in December of 2020 as the global COVID-19 pandemic wreaked its havoc on the world. Months later, she would lead the American charge against the virus as the new head of the CDC. A Harvard graduate, Walensky began her career as an infectious disease doctor trying to fight another deadly illness, HIV and AIDS. At the helm of the CDC, she was outspoken about the Trump administration's handling of coronavirus. Here she is again in 2020.
And when the nation is coding, if you are called to serve, you serve. You run to take care of people, to stop the bleeding, to stabilize, to give them hope and a fighting chance to come back stronger. That's what doctors do.
In what he called a coincidence, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken was touring the CDC just about an hour after Walensky made her announcement. Speaking to cameras, he praised her tenure.
She has been an extraordinary leader of this enterprise. She's made our country healthier and safer. She's made countries around the world healthier and safer. I could not be more grateful for the collaboration that we've had during the time she's directed the CDC.
And President Joe Biden issued a statement as well today from the White House. He thanked Walensky for her years of service and said she leaves the CDC a stronger institution. We're live outside CDC headquarters in DeKalb County tonight. Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.
Big shoes to fill there, Doug. Thank you.